The French and the English, two of the most bitter rivalries in European history, fought a long war in medieval times known as the 100 Years' War, and they meet now at the Battle of Crecy. The French historically lost due to the amount of English longbows, and the Genoese crossbowmen of the French did not have a good effect, did not do too much damage to the English longbows, and the longbows took down a lot of cavalry as they charged straight into their own men, as well as at the English. And the English won a decisive victory at Crecy. However, war would be far from over. Welcome to another AI only historical battle in Total War Medieval Kingdoms 1212 AD. The English, let's see here, they're up on the hill right now. They have some longbows, like I said, that do a lot of damage. They've brought some infantry, a lot of infantry. They have some cavalry, some heavy shock cavalry on the sides as well. And the French army also brought a lot of shock cavalry. They've brought some Genoese mercenary crossbowmen, like they did historically, and they have infantry to help. Now it looks like some of these French cavalry units are getting a little detached from the rest of the group. The English do have the hill advantage, and they've set up some defensive stakes and stones. Now there's going to be a first big engagement. The English are going to charge right down on the French. Right here. It's going to be some bitter engagement here. English have sent in a lot of cavalry to take down the French. The French are going to come up here as well. The longbows are ready to fire. They're already firing. Ooh, look at that. The French cavalry is taking some shots here from the English. Looks here like the French cavalry starting to break under the weight of all of the English knights, led by Edward the Black Prince, I believe. These French men are going to retreat. The rest of their army is already really far off, and for some reason their cavalry it's going to get isolated from the rest of them. We already have English knights going to charge into the rear, into the flank of the French. You can see the shields of the English, claiming to be both the King of England, claims to be both the King of England and France, as you can tell. This French cavalry unit's going to take a lot of casualties from going up here, and the English longbows are firing down at the French. But it's not going to do much yet. Let's put this on normal speed now. Looks like the English cavalry has actually come down here too. They're going to try to meet with the heavy melee French infantry, which could be a mistake. Oh. The English have won a little engagement over here, but now they're going to get charged by the French. The Genoese have brought their crossbowmen. We're taking some shots here. Oh, the English cavalry charging right through them, but not to do much. The Genoese are tough fighters, even though they retreated at the actual battle. Now, the French have sent in a lot of cavalry. They're going to try to charge into the English. The resounding charge. French have also sent in some melee units to charge the English in the flank. French are also sending in their Genoese crossbows. Looks like the English are going to win this cavalry engagement over here, though. The French have brought in a cav unit. It's taking some shots from some of the longbows. And the heavy fighting is going to be over here between the French infantry and the English melee units. French are going to retreat back here. The Genoese crossbows are they're not going to do much effect. They're going to fire at the English longbowmen though. Right now there's, looks like one of the French infantry units is starting to lose an engagement. And over here we have a small French cavalry unit trying to chase down all the longbows and get separated from the rest of the army. And the English might use that to their advantage. Over here, they're going to try to charge directly into the... They're going to charge there. Could be a heavy engagement, but... Oh, it looks like the English are going to lose. And the king has died. The king's bodyguard. The king has died. The French cavalry is breaking some of the English cavalry right now, though. However, the infantry fight, I have to say, might be doing better on the English side. There's another cavalry engagement over here. English are sending in some foot knights to help. Really like the cool uniforms of the French and the English. Especially all the coat of arms and the shields. The French are going to break over here. However, the balance of power is still even, despite the death of the enemy king, or the Black Prince, but we're not sure. It's going to be another cavalry engagement over here between the English and the French infantry. The English longbows are taking out a lot of units. They're going to come back here now to reinforce the battle over on this side. It's possible that the French sent in their heaviest melee unit yet. There's going to be an English unit. English foot knights over here are going to start breaking. Oh, the Genoese are going to retreat. The French have sent in their cavalry. Getting a huge charge there, but then taking some shots from those longbowmen. The English at the beginning have had the hill advantage the whole time. And the French cavalry is going to waver and going to be forced to withdraw. But in the process, they're going to bump right into this unit over here. There is a French cavalry unit actually, though, breaking the retinue longbowmen. Looks like the French have lost most of their melee infantry through the process. A couple of their cavalry units are still intact. Their crossbowmen are still intact, but the English have also lost quite a few units as well, if you can't tell. English sergeants are going to start retreating. The longbows of the English are still firing down on the French. French cavalry is going to try to march up the hill now, but it looks like the English are getting ready. But they're not going to march. They're not going to attack them. Oh, now they are. Looks like the French cavalry is winning the engagement against the English over here. Oh, it looks like the mercenary Genoese crossbowmen are fighting some of the English foot knights over here. The English still have their longbows, firing down on the French. Oh, they're gonna break over here. The crossbows, however, are really the only units the French have left. And the English have not, mostly just longbows and maybe one melee unit shock infantry and one shock cavalry. They do have a cavalry unit left. Oh, and a couple more melee infantry. But now the Genoese crossbowmen are going to take some fire and the English are going to start marching against them. Looks like one of their Genoese crossbowmen units are going to start to... Oh, it broke. Now the English are sending in a lot of infantry against the Genoese. Genoese are really all the French have left. There's an engagement over here between the English knights and the Genoese crossbowmen. And the English longbows are still firing down on the Genoese crossbowmen. Oh, it does look like the English knights lost that engagement against these crossbowmen, and the crossbowmen are still alive. And they're still firing. down at the English, up at the English. It's gonna take some time before the English can chase down all of those Genoese crossbowmen. Let's just try to speed it up and see what happens. Crossbowmen are still retreating, far away as they can, but there is a limit to the battle, so the English are already exhausted. Their morale is low. It's gonna be an engagement here between the longbows. They're gonna beat the English crossbowmen here, while the Genoese crossbowmen are still taking a lot of fire. They've mostly lost already, and they're gonna be stuck over here now. Now they're gonna try to face them, or are they gonna run? Oh, now the Genoese are gonna still be firing. They've kind of surrounded this little English unit over here. And it looks like the battle has been won for the English. Oh, so we can just concede defeat, so that will be... Oh, so that we don't have to have the Seljuks fight. So, the French lost, just like in real life, to the English at Crecy, or Crecy. The English foot knights got in a lot of kills, so did their retinue longbowmen, and a couple of their other melee heavy shock infantry units. Their king's bodyguard they didn't even get any kills. Their cavalry kind of helped, but not too many. In terms of the French, the Genoese crossbowmen did okay, all right. A couple of the French cavalry did fine, but in overall, the English were the star of the show. And that will be the end of this episode of the AI only historical battles.